Welcome back to Apple Mary and Dennie. Foil the Swindlers. I believe we're on chapter 11. Ooh, chapter 11. Oil. Miss Hetty had a fine room to rent to Apple Mary and Dennie. They went to bed immediately, as the trip had been a tiring one. But the next morning at breakfast, Miss Hetty had a great deal to say.
"If you want to know anything about Green Acres,"
she volunteered. After they had already talked a lot,
"I can tell you."
"I was just wondering," ventured Apple Mary, "who lives in that big house on the other side of town?"
"Oh, you mean Mr. Crafty's place? I wouldn't go around there if I were you,"
warned Miss Hetty.
"He doesn't like visitors and keeps 2 perfectly vicious dogs. Not that I'm one to meddle in other folks' affairs,"
she went on, as Dennie and Apple Mary helped her do the dishes.
"but there's something mighty funny about the goings-on in that old house."
As they prepared to go out, Apple Mary and the boy decided to say nothing to Miss Hetty about why they had come. People turned to look at them as they went up the street.
"Wonder who they are,"
said one man to another. Pondered the second, rubbing his chin. "That old lady looks kind of familiar." "Just a few more blocks, Dennie," said his grandmother. "Then past that clump of trees, and you will see my old home. We've waited a long time to come back to Green Acres to see this." As they passed the clump of trees, Apple Mary stopped dead, still pointing a horrified finger ahead of her. "Look! Do you see what I see?"
"Looks awful funny to me, Grandma. What is it?"
asked Dennie, who was a little frightened. Apple Mary clutched the rope on the sled and broke into a run. "Maybe I'm wrong. I surely hope so. But..." She was crying when she stopped across the street from a large house around which stood a dozen great steel structures. "Oil wells! Oh," she sobbed. "Oil wells all over my lovely gardens, and trees are all gone. Oh." "But what do people want with oil wells, Grandma? They're not nearly as nice as trees." "Oh, they're worth a lot of money, Dennie." When they turned to go home, Dennie put on his thinking cap.
"If Grandma had known about the oil when she owned the place," he said to himself, "she wouldn't have lost her home. Now, I wonder..."
By the time he reached home and was sitting in a big rocking chair by the window, he had thought it all out.
"I'll bet those men who took Grandma's place away from her 5 years ago knew there was oil on it. I'll bet that's why they took it. If only I could get inside that house."
"Dennie and I went by the big house," Apple Mary was saying to Miss Hetty, while Dennie looked out the window. "Seems a shame to spoil a lovely place like that with dirty oil wells."
"My lands, old man Crafty would do anything for money,"
asserted Miss Hetty. Disappointed as she was, Apple Mary could not resist taking Dennie back for another look at her old home. "There used to be a gate to the back garden. I'll go around and look. If the coast is clear, I'll come back for you." Be careful of those bad dogs, Grandma, warned the child. As Denny sat waiting on the sled, a pretty girl with long braids came up the street and stopped beside him. "Hello," she said. "What are you doing out here?" "I'm waiting for my grandma. Who are you?" "My name is Jean Dent. I live over there," returned the girl, pointing toward the big house. "You live there, in that house?" cried Denny. "Gee, wait till I tell Grandma." That's the end of Chapter 11. I hope you'll join me next time for Chapter 12, Denny's Invitation. Boy, it's getting interesting. I'll try to get Chapter 12 up a little quicker than I did 11. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll come back next time for another adventure of Apple Mary and Dennie. See you next time.